Okay, Septa and Tarlord are definitely getting together. We just had the marriage bed scene. No saying yep. No saying yep.
No, I don't.
May not happen.
No, but I ship them.
But that implies they're not that together yet.
Just saying. When I was at that point in the book, I wanted them to get together. Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Allie. And this is the Nit Writs podcast. Yeah, this week we are just chatting about our stories and our reading and writing. Just maybe a normal episode.
Yeah, a little check-in.
Yeah. Okay, so you were just telling me, like, basically you didn't get to write super a lot, but you still did write this week, and I think that counts for something.
Yeah, I wrote a little bit. It's probably about maybe a quarter of a chapter, half a chapter. And yeah, I'm developing the space as I go. I haven't planned things out, so I think it's taking a little longer to be like, okay, what does this space look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? And it's kind of nice because I feel like I'm writing more description than I have before because I'm having to like be more conscious. I'm not just like, oh, I know what it looks like, and then forgetting to write those details. But yeah, she's exiting her little room from chapter 2. And we're going to see the house and the grounds that she's kept on. We're going to see this little island, big-ish little island. And then Corvin is going to give her some lore about what he needs from her. And she's going to push back a little bit. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he still doesn't know that she has kids. So we gotta break his little heart with that.
I noticed lots of little flirty parts in there, and
yeah, he's having a hard time. I want him to have to kind of struggle with over familiarity, and for her to be a little like, what the fuck kind of about it, or just like shut it down or like completely ignore it. Like I like the idea of him like making cute little thingies and then her just, so what are we doing? Like, kind of, you know, like I kind of like that dynamic.
Although she's checking him out for sure.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Which happens. I mean, married women check people out. It does happen. But yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't usually relate to that because I actually don't really.
But you're also a personality. You're attracted to personality. So you have to talk to people and to find them attractive, where I don't.
Yeah. Like, I really don't. I think that's why sometimes romantasy is hard for me. I'm just like, why are you thinking about that guy being hot? He's just this dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't get it. But yeah.
I read yours.
Okay.
I love that Forrest is getting laid. Because he said that he went to Ella's house and stayed the weekend with her, and there was heavy breathing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's in like 2 weeks. See, I also did write this week. I wrote that like 2 weeks ago. During our episode, a lot of it.
But yeah, so what are you said that you had some concerns about your story. And I
don't know what fucking problem to have.
Okay.
Because I fixed the problem. He's just gonna get her these supplies. I guess he's gonna get caught. Is that boring?
No, it's not boring.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's a boring thing to happen. And like, what are they gonna do? Run away and go to the surface? Like, I don't want them to go. I want the story to happen down in this city.
Yeah.
But
yeah, book 2 is the surface.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, so that's kind of like my issue, right? Like, I have like a big world issue, I guess, and like, but I also have
you have a good core problem.
Yes, but I also have trouble with coming up with like big problems, or even just like, you know, like, well, what's their motivation to do this? I'm like, okay, so there's a big problem, but like there's injustices around us all the time, and we all just fucking live our lives and shop at Walmart. So what the fuck? You know, and so like sometimes I have to, what I find And it's not necessarily like a copying thing because I don't want to copy ever, but sometimes I
Well,
just go back through the books that I've read and think about what is the conflict.
yeah. All art is imitation, so
Yeah, and
that's what you're supposed to do.
so sometimes I'm like, okay, so like what's the big problem? Like with Zodiac Academy, the first big problem is just that like they're thrust into this thing and told that they're going to have a throne if they can be worthy of it, and everyone keeps telling them that they have to do it, and they're like, this is fucking stupid. And then it's
Yeah.
bullies, right? And so like your first book really could just be like the dynamics of whatever is going on in this space, right? That there's an issue between his loyalty as an employee and to Draven, right? Or this secretism, or that he's got to, follow the rules and like not get caught because Draven is this, big bad guy.
Yeah.
But now he's building a relationship and a loyalty to somebody else who needs his help and kind of needs right shit off the top of his what he's doing. And so right
Yeah.
now it could start out where like he's getting extras and maybe build in where like he doesn't have extra and he gives her a little off the top anyways, and then he comes up short with Draven.
Yeah, I could see
And
that.
then
I think I was thinking of like maybe Draven being like, "You think I can't see that you had that shit under your fingernails?" Like,
yeah,
and you clearly, like, I know, like, I think I want him to think that Drayden is just a dude who like wouldn't pay attention, and Drayden is maybe like psychotic and is
yeah,
like definitely
yeah,
paying attention.
yeah.
But I don't want it to just be like some big, okay, I'm gonna kill you. I don't know. Maybe he makes Forrest go do something
Mhm.
as like as
Maybe he
like
sends him to, because it says in there that Forrest is not superstitious, right? And that Drayden's eyes like widen when he says that he's not superstitious. So maybe as punishment, he sends him into a door that's not on his map. And that's like
mm,
there's like a curse or there's a monster or there's a fucking something that's like big issues, whatever. And he starts to learn some of these secrets, and he can't tell the girl that he's falling for, right? um
which I haven't decided if that's a thing either, but
yeah, but well, he
it
can't
feels
he can't
cool,
tell
but
his friends, right?
yeah.
And then like maybe Drayden, like, I can see Drayden. I keep calling him Draven, but it's Drayden.
Yes.
I think that Drayden can definitely be kind of an Arrowbin sort of figure. Like maybe not so much a father figure, but that like underestimating, like, oh, he's not really around. He's not all that bad. Like he has a big, persona, but he's not bad. And then I think he needs to beat the shit out of Forrest at some point.
Yeah, but
Like,
I think it's actually a while. I think yeah, maybe I like the idea of like what did I say, he wasn't superstitious because he went into the blood mines?
yeah. Or he went into some of these other mines.
Oh gosh, yeah. Um
The mines that were unmineable, basically, the ones that were they're
yeah.
not able to be
Oh yeah,
terraformed.
what do you think about
I love that
that?
idea. I love that
Okay.
idea that there's areas that they just can't
They were just like, "Well, we got to
reach.
build a city here because our fucking
Yeah.
worlds are falling
Well,
apart."
and
But
and
this
then there's
shit, we got to work
yeah, there's
around.
areas that they can't breach. I think that you should have a reason why they can't be breached. I think it should be a magical
It's
reason why
magic, yeah.
I think there's a magical reason why they can't be breached. And I think that Forrest should be the one who is able to breach them. There's something about him.
Well, it's that they can't be destroyed. Like they can't be like you can put a Walmart there. You know, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they try to break down the bust the walls down and the walls just like grow right back.
yeah.
So it's just that like the world is kind of unbendable. So I don't think he's gonna break them. I think if anything, he's gonna be more protective of them or find uses for some of this stuff. Like I think he will tap into the magic, but not in a
Maybe there's something where he gets some of the magic in these places, in these unbreakable places, and that eventually the big thing is that he can take that magic to the surface and he can heal the
yeah.
surface. He can unbreak the surface. And
See,
then and then
I
the
don't know.
secret could be that the reason why they're keeping them closed is because they are unbreakable and they can't use them, but they also know that they have the potential to possibly heal the surface. And we don't want to be back on the surface because then we won't have power on the surface. They want to
Okay,
maintain the world underneath.
yeah.
And that
Although
Drayden is a part of that.
I do think okay, I like if I went big epic, it would be have to be something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to. I kind of like keeping everything. Like I kind of like this idea of the world up there is just broken,
Okay.
and now we just and it will never be fixed. And you know, partly because we grew up in the fucking climate era and we are
Mhm.
living in a world that,
Yeah.
you know, there's something interesting to me about like, no, there is no hope. And
Yeah.
actually, the story is not going to fix it.
Yeah.
It's fucking done. Um, like
Well,
but
then your
maybe,
story is about the perseverance of the human spirit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know if but maybe I will do that route like eventually. But
Mhm.
I think definitely for this book we're staying down below for sure.
Okay.
And I think maybe I feel like maybe we're never gonna heal the surface, but maybe we can make it
Yeah.
some
So
like
then maybe there's
livable
just
or
a
something.
very simple internal struggle, right? That you
Because we also have
have.
the disease down here. I think that is the central like big
Yeah.
problem.
Well, then maybe the unbreakable areas can heal the disease.
Yeah, no, I think they are because remember when we first talked, I think we said like Drayden is trying to make his own
Mhm.
remedies and he's gonna I don't know, but
But I think that Drayden can't he can't be altruistic, right? He can't be trying to find a
no,
remedy to
he's
heal
trying
the
to
world. He's
fuck
trying
some shit up
and he wants to keep it
make
for
money or something.
yes, he's keeping it for himself. I think that he needs to go into these mines and you don't have to take any of this advice, by the way. But I
No,
think
I
he
like just to just you
yeah,
know
I
think
think that he
through
could go
talk.
into these mines and you can have a little bit of time where he's stealing some stuff or he's gathering extra or he has this side satchel or he's pulling things under his fingernails. And so like you can see like a nervousness, you can see the interaction where he goes back to Eli's and gives her this stuff and like keeps asking her questions about what she's doing and she's like I can't tell you, I'm bound, yada yada, whatever. And a little bit of that tension and like maybe some camaraderie between the three of them. I like the Eli in the mix of that, of like,
Yeah,
I like Eli a lot. And so I think like maybe they're like a little cohort of whatever.
yeah,
And then at some point, Drayden needs to find out what he's doing and even if it's like there was nothing extra, so I shorted Drayden because he never pays attention anyways. So like one time of shorting him will be fine. Like maybe
hmm
he goes in the next chapter and he gathers extras, right? And then he gives it to her and he's nervous, but it's fine. And then he goes the next time and there's nothing extra. And so then he's like, well, I'll just like give her some of this and I'll just short him a little bit and I'll make up for it next time. It'll be fine. Like
yeah,
it's gonna replenish itself. I came back too soon and the moss didn't regrow or blah blah blah, whatever else.
hmm
And then Drayden noticed, and then I think that Drayden needs to be the one to actually be like he can't have his cronies beat him. I think that Drayden needs to
hmm
beat him. And that's that split where like Forrest is like, oh, I don't know what his goons are doing, but Drayden does his own dirty work to some extent
hmm
and he's someone to be feared. And I think that that could be, and then eventually you're going to have to like build up Sav's character. And
yeah. I
like
think
maybe she
she's
works for, maybe the researcher that she's working for is a competitor. Maybe there's
yeah.
some
That's what I'm.
weird rivalry between Drayden and the person she works for. Maybe there's something going on there because I think that it's not only that Forrest is stealing or taking extras or kind of working for two people because that could even just be it. You're working for like you're offering I've paid you, you work for me.
Yeah.
But then he can find out who he's working for and then be like, that's my competition. You what? And like that's kind of a bigger issue on top of that. And then he can be just stuck, him and Savs can be sort of stuck in the crossfires of these two powerful shitbags.
Yes.
And then they would find secrets out or find what they're doing and find out that and you can even find out that like the illness maybe he's not trying to cure it, maybe he's trying to keep it going, maybe that's what they're collecting what's making them sick
Yeah.
and he's trying to find a cure for it so he can cure himself, but he wants people to stay sick because that's how he makes his money, right? Like that's how he stays in power is by people being sick. Very V
Yeah.
for Vendetta type stuff.
I never saw that movie, but I do know it's like some shit like that. Like I feel like I could see the guy in my head.
Yeah, well, like the government releases a plague, I believe, and then they also
Ooh.
release the um the vaccine for it, right? And so like you don't know that they released the plague, but the government has saved everybody of this plague, right? That they created themselves
Yeah. Yeah.
to stay in power, right? To stay.
Yeah. I think I forgot what originally we talked about, but yeah, something like that. Like yeah, maybe Drayden. Maybe Drayden. I thought I put this somewhere in the thing. But yeah, maybe Drayden makes his own thing
Mhm.
and But I think he wants to take down. I think Forrest is eventually going to get on board with Drayden, thinking, "Oh, he wants to take down these people who are withholding this drug."
Yep.
But then it's going to be like a
Yeah.
worse thing or
Well, and like
something.
maybe Drayden knows that the powers that be are making people sick. And so
Yeah,
he is under the guise of I'm going to cure this. And then you start to realize he's trying to monopolize on how to keep people sick. That's
yeah,
really what he's doing. Like he wants to end up taking over and like he wants to be the absolute power. Because if people are sick and rely on him, then he has and if there's no police force, if there's nobody giving out the shots, if there's nothing, then they all come to him. And
yeah.
then
It's
he
so
can offer this miracle drug that maybe lasts longer or something.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
people have magic or does the area have magic?
I haven't quite figured that out. I think the world has magic,
Mhm.
and people are very not knowledgeable with it. Like it is not a thing people turn to or even really know how to wield.
Okay.
They're just like that,
Because that could be something that, like, maybe when the world collapsed, that it wasn't so much. I mean, yes, it was a collapse, but maybe it was like a releasing of magic, and like they all got some, and what's keeping them sick is keeping them with that, like, is suppressing their power.
Yeah,
And that Drayden is trying to find a way to harness the power. So like he's like, yes, people are sick because they're not the power, but we still haven't been able to access their power. So he's like, I'm finding a cure. When really what he's trying to do is he's trying to find a way to manipulate the illness so that he can harness the power. So
yeah.
extract it from people instead of just suppressing it.
Or
He's
yeah,
like,
maybe
what?
the sickness is like what is the thing that happens when you get your magic. Uh
Yeah, they're suppressing, and like the powers that be are suppressing it right now, but Drayden wants to take it.
Yeah, and maybe they just kill people if they go without the medicine and they go through the process, and then
Hmm.
after that, yeah, maybe they, yeah. Although okay, see, it's so interesting because part of me is like, um, uh part of me doesn't like the keep people sick narrative because it's kind of a right-wing talking point. And
Oh,
so I'm
that's
like,
fair.
I
That's
don't
fair.
like that, but I also am like, that is some shit the government does and would do, but like
Yeah.
also, but I can't think like that. I have to just do it what is
Yeah.
natural. And part of me also likes this idea that
I mean, it's
it's
also what
not
our
that people
government has
making it
done,
sick,
both
it's
right
the
and left.
world's,
Yeah.
like because of the damage that they did to the world or the
Yeah.
world did to itself or whatever. I like this sort of unstoppable, like, you will never really fix the problem.
Yeah.
There is something so depressing
That
and
you need to
like,
evolve or you will die.
yeah, yeah, or just there's something I really like about like this is the world is evil and terrible and fucked up. And
Mhm.
I kind of I don't know why I just want that to stay in like this it's like this maybe this big external conflict that's always there that's just kind of like I don't know, like anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like for some reason that's what I'm gravitating towards. So I'm kind of like if we give people the power to make people sick, I don't know. But then I
That's
also am
fair.
like I'm like on one hand I'm like it feels counterintuitive to me to say to have people be cartoonishly evil and want to keep people sick because I'm just like my instinct, I just feel like
Mm.
people aren't like that yet, except right now. My worldview is currently no, there are cartoonishly evil people and they are in power
Well,
and they are in, and normal people are generally good people, but
I
like
mean,
actually there are some demons in power.
but
And
then
so I kind of
it's
do want a
well,
cartoon villain.
and they've always been like that. I mean, we
Yeah.
were doing
But
Tuskegee experiments. We've done experiments on minorities since the founding of this
like,
country as
I
we
don't
know
want to
it. Like,
have any like oh he had good motivations for villains, but
yeah.
when I do that it feels wrong. It feels like
Yes,
it
but
goes
we
against my
also
instinct, but
yeah,
I'm like
but
I
we
think
also
that's the truth.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there are real life villains in our life that like even if
There's
we
nothing
can
but
well that and like we can agree that like, not everybody is 100% evil or 100% bad, but if you are 99% evil, the fact that you liked your dog doesn't stop you from being Hitler, right?
yeah.
Like those are those things. Like, yeah, sure, maybe there's one redeeming quality about Trump, but that doesn't there's so many irredeeming qualities that you can't he will always be evil.
Yeah.
you know? And so, like, even, you know, the gray is still pretty fucking much like, it's still there's far more evil that outweighs any possible good. So, yeah, make him cartoonish, fuck it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to do because I'm
And,
just like, that's
I
how
mean,
it is.
like, I know it's a cliche that, like, absolute power corrupts absolutely, but
Oh,
it
what it
does,
does.
right? Like, it absolutely does. And once people get a taste of it, they do everything to keep it,
Yeah, it's
especially
so weird.
certain genders, right? And,
Yeah.
women are not necessarily unsusceptible to that, but we live in a patriarchal society, and we know that that's just the reality. So, yeah, I don't think it's weird to have cartoonish evil people. I mean, even some of the books that we love have cartoonish evil people. Lionel Acrex is cartoonish evil, right?
No,
Like,
he kind of has a lot of motivation.
got it. I
I
mean,
mean,
he has motivation in that he was the second born,
yeah. No,
but
he doesn't have true motivation
he doesn't.
the way that actually like Livin.
Yeah,
He
uh-huh.
does.
Yeah, Lavinia does have true motivation, right? But
Yeah.
Lionel doesn't.
And
And
she's kind of more
even
evil. Like
well
she's
and
like well, she's not more evil, but
and even like Arabin doesn't really have true motivation. He just doesn't want to go back to his home world, right? Like it's and he's looking for his sister-in-law, right? Like he doesn't have true he got a taste of a
no,
world that
what's his
looks
name?
eh,
Not Arabin.
sorry, Erwin.
Oh, that is why he thought. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Okay,
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the Valg are just about, and even the Asteri, right? They're because I just have SJM in my head, but like even the Asteri are just about conquering, and like let's be honest, conquest in general, even in the nature of this, like
Is
our
very
world,
motivating for a lot of people.
it's just what, and it's motive. It's not. There's no reason behind it, and all of the reasons are just false justifications to
Yeah.
imprison and enslave others. It's not real motivation, right? Even oh, the church was trying to. That's bullshit. Like, let's be honest. We all know that the church wasn't trying to do anything except for fucking make money. And just like
Hmm.
the crowns who ran slavery, they weren't about spreading Christianity. They were about fucking filling their coffers.
It's funny. It's strangely coming back around to like a Christian worldview of like, and there's good and evil, and good,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
powers of good and evil. It's funny. Anyway, so yeah, I think I will. I think I will do. I think I will. Yeah, not go to the surface this world. I think she is gonna be okay. I think Forrest's main problem is going to be he's always a little bit in over his head, and
Mhm.
he always is overestimating himself, or just he's one of those people that just is like it'll be fine, it is fine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's pretty good at making it work a lot of the time,
Mhm.
except in these moments where he gets like fucked over and
Yeah,
he's like,
I
oh shit.
he's almost like the Bryce who is not the queen of bullshit. Like he thinks he's the king of bullshit, but he's really bad at it.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
like, it's
like he
fine.
has
I'll just
some competence, and he does like the reason he goes through life like this is because he's generally
yeah.
it is fine.
Yeah.
It's just gonna bite him.
But he also hasn't been this deep in it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
like as the shit gets deeper, he's going to realize like, "Oh, I am actually this is going to take more effort than just
yeah.
vibes. I can't live on vibes anymore."
Yeah, and I think he has
Because
also grown up
Forrest
in like a privileged of
Mhm.
the above world
Yeah.
where people had better lives, and
Well, and I feel like
she I think is from this world.
yeah, and I feel like Forrest is in that space where it's like he kind of is like, yeah, things are bad, but like it's outside reasons, right? Like, oh, well, there was a natural disaster, and you just go with it, or like you're given what you're given, and you make it work, and that's not like I think that needs to crash around him to realize like,
Yeah,
no, there are people pulling the strings and creating the world in which you live in and keeping you suppressed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think it's yeah, but I think that's how I will drive the conflict. Is like at every turn, it's because he didn't think something through
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
thought it would be fine.
Yeah.
Um, and kind of like death by a thousand cuts. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm just like I started the next chapter and I was like, okay, so he gives you the stuff, and then what? Like I feel like I need to have like another layer, and then in like 3 chapters he gets caught by Drayden.
Hmm.
But like I'm like, okay, so if I think what it's hard is that it feels like there's another piece here, and I haven't. Maybe it's another character. Maybe it's.
Could be.
I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured it out, but
Well, what if
yeah.
what if at some point, right, you could have a chapter where he's gathering stuff and he's sneaking the extras, right? So you have a chapter of him just being like, it'll be fine. I'll just put this in my pocket and it'll be fine, right?
I was gonna
And
do it in exposition of just being like my first sentence, all I have for the next chapter is I gathered the materials. It was way too easy. That's the first. That's all I've written.
you could do
But I
that and
can
then
just delete that.
yeah, but then that could work, but then maybe the hard part is the delivery, right? Sabs didn't
Yeah.
come to Eli, so I had to search her out. So I had to find who she works for.
Okay, true.
Right? And then
Yeah.
and now he's delivering goods to a competitor. Not just to someone who works for them, not secretly in this bakery, legit to the doorstep of a competitor.
Yeah, that is, and because yeah,
And he's like, Drayden's fine. This was easy. Drayden's fine. I'm just helping out a friend. It's not a big deal. Like he doesn't see the big picture. He doesn't see the anywhere. He doesn't think about it, right?
yeah,
You know, Drayden's not that bad. And so then then he can go back and then say like the next chapter after that, he's collecting the extras and then he gets patted down.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Or then he's like, "Oh, like there's a goon here with me this time. Like why is someone watching me this time?" And so he's like sneaking things, right? And he's like, "That was
yeah,
much harder." And then they exchange and then maybe the next time he does it again. And then like he's at Eli's and the goon comes and is like, "Drayden wants to see you." And he's like, "Fuck,
yeah,
okay." And he's just like, "It'll be fine. It's whatever." Or even that he shortchanges Drayden at some point, right? It's like the first time he's like, "This is super easy." And now but then he goes to this person, he goes to Sav's place. So now there's like, we're like trying to think of like evidence that Drayden can use, right? And then the next time
yeah,
he thinks someone's on to him by gathering extras, but he manages it, right? But it's a little sketch. And then the third time, maybe it's not there. So then he takes off the top of Drayden's and gives to her. And so then the goon is like, Drayden wants to see you, or Viscera, or whatever his name is, right? Says
Vestin.
Drayden, yeah, Drayden wants to see you, and then that's when he goes, so you're collecting extras, you're delivering it to this other person who's a competitor, you're stealing, like you're taking more, so you're working for them, and not only that, but now you're taking off the top of my cut, and
Uh
then beats
huh.
the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Uh.
And then maybe
Yeah.
drops him on Eli's doorstep, and now Eli is in it.
Yeah. Or some.
Or
I
that he
think.
doesn't, or that they keep him in his room on Drayden's house for like a week to recover. And Eli's like, "Where have you been? Like, what's going on?" And Forrest is like, they they roughed me up, like And now Eli's in it.
Yeah. I do like, yeah. Eli has to get mixed up. I think he's gonna become collateral. I think actually the first thing Drayden does is actually say, okay, now I have leverage over you, and he's gonna make him do
Mhm.
some shit. I think he gets beat up halfway, three quarters of the way through like
Yeah,
the
I'm
story.
okay with that. Yeah,
Um because I feel like he has to not take Drayden
yeah.
that
He can't
seriously.
go from like 0 to 60.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think what actually, as I was talking, for some reason I was realizing, I was like, oh, what Drayden's gonna do? Like maybe he just gets his shot or whatever, and then Drayden's gonna like rip it out of his fucking veins and like make him sit there and like, or like send him on like an errand, be like, go get this, and if you don't come back, I'm gonna not give it back to you and you're gonna die. Um,
yeah,
like I want to make him like vicious in a very casual way, and I think at some point he's
yeah,
gonna be like, yeah, I like the panopticism angle. I think that's one of my I both hate it and love it in stories because it's so terrifying. Like, did you ever watch The Walking Dead?
mm-mm. I
Oh, okay.
stopped before then.
Okay, well, anyway, it's a great modern day panopticism
Tell me, I'm
because,
not.
or yeah, you're not gonna like catch up on it, but it's basically like so Negan is like this rival clan thing that's very big, they have a lot of
Mhm.
resources, they're very well organized, they're kind of cult like, um, and I don't know. They're coming in and they're kind of like taking over territory. They're laying claim to people. They're sort of colonizing other little villages and stuff. And so those villages come
Okay.
to Rick, their place, and it's like, "Can you help
Yeah.
us?" Oh yeah, it's called Alexandria. That's right. And so he's like, "Yeah."
Mm.
And so what they do is they go and like they go in the night and kill a bunch of people in their beds. Just like really fuck them up at this outpost. And Negan in revenge is like this, like the really fucked up shit that everyone talked about with The Walking Dead is what
Yeah.
happened as a result, the end result of this. And it is
Mm-hmm.
fucked. You want to talk about torturing characters? Like, I mean,
That's when he
millions
kills
of people stopped watching the show. Millions of people stopped watching
it's
the
when
show.
he killed Maggie's person, right?
He killed like 3 main characters in 2 episodes.
I did not know that.
It is beyond fucked up. It is.
Did he kill the old lady?
No, he kills this like this kind of like lovable. He kills Abraham. What is his name? Abraham. Maybe that's the actress name.
Is that
The redhead. He kills him.
okay?
Like, and bashes their faces in with a spiked baseball bat. Like, it is
Yeah, I saw the bat.
vicious and felt very senseless. Like, and
Mm.
to this day, it's like one of the most infamous moments in TV. Like, because it just actually, people were like, this is too much. This is too far. I cannot take it. So it's really interesting to look at like torturing characters. Because yeah, especially they had just faked out Glenn's death right before this. But anyway, the episode when they're leading up to that, when you know some shit's gonna go down, they are in the night. They are trying to escape Negan. They're trying to get away and go somewhere else they're like abandoning their colony. I think I could be getting that wrong. I think they're like fleeing, like full on trying to get out. But yeah, that's one of my favorite examples of synopticism is when they're chasing them. Like they go down this road and Negan has so much resources and so many people, they stop them. And then like they go the other way and then they stop them at the road. At every single turn, it's like the most ominous, terrifying feeling because they can just tell they know every single place that we turn and there is no escape. And you really get the sense of like you didn't understand how much Negan like had eyes on them and all of their movements.
Got it.
And I mean, I love synopticism. Like, one of my favorite books in undergrad was Caleb Williams, which is this like thriller from 1782 written by Mary Shelley's dad. And that has a lot of panopticism. And it's like with the prison, I had a teacher who was their specialty was in prison reform and British romanticism. And they talked a lot about how like the prison was developed originally, or one of the early prisons was this creepy fucking evil format where they put the watchtower in the middle and everyone around the side, and basically it was like a dark tower so you could never tell when you're being watched, when you're not being watched, and it fucked people up. And I love panopticism as just like an idea and like it as it's used and stuff. I think it's like I don't get scared at scary movies and stuff. I'll get jump scared, but that's it. But that is one of those things that really gets me. So I always am like, let's make Drayden like know way too much. Anyway, that was a really long-winded way of saying I like panopticism as an element.
But I didn't know that word. So no, that's great.
Oh yeah, seeing all panopticism. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, God, I talked so long about my story. Oh, actually, I had one question. What do you think about the materials? Do you think those were did you buy into them?
Yeah, they sound
okay.
Yes.
I love that kind of shit. I love making up little like lore things like
and they sound like scientific-y Latin names enough to totally believable as what they would be named as.
Okay.
It's not worm root because there's worms at the bottom of the roots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, no, I like them.
Things.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It show well, one, it does two things. It either shows creativity and like foresight, right? Or like just like it shows that you can come up with realistic names. But it also, I love when they sound just real enough that you're like, is that a real fucking thing? Like that's what I like. Like people are gonna be Googling these words and be like, is that a real thing?
I just made that up.
Yeah, I love that.
So anyway, okay, I think maybe I'll have. Yeah, I like the idea of him. He can't find her.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Do you remember? Did I say this is going to be ongoing, or is it just a one-time gathering thing? Because you were talking
Oh,
like as if I had
it
said,
should be ongoing.
yeah, I kind of think it should be.
It should be ongoing. Otherwise, it's just a.
But maybe
It's just
it's
a.
not at first. He just does the first delivery, and she's like, "Can you get me some of this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Pretty girl,"
Yeah.
or he's just like, whatever. Okay,
I mean, she could end up betraying him too,
yeah,
right?
I
That it's
think a
not
little
necessarily a love
betrayal.
interest. That she's like, ooh, nice vulnerable boy who will do my work for me. You know.
Yeah, I think she's the researcher, and she's not bound. She's just saying that.
I love that.
But I also feel like that's really expected.
Not at all.
Okay. Okay.
No. No.
It's funny what I think is stereotypical.
That's awesome. And then Ella can come back and he can bang her again.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That actually is a great transition over into reading because I have thoughts about
Uh-huh.
that. But wait, are we done talking about writing?
I think we could be done talking about
Okay.
writing.
Did you talk about everything
yeah.
you want to talk about? I feel like we hardly talked about yours.
That's
Well,
okay.
we had talked
I
about some of it before.
yeah, and I had hardly written anything and I'm having some creative time problems. So
Yeah.
but I feel comfortable where it's going. I have some ideas for what his area is going to look like, and I had to think like bigger in terms of like not the house doesn't need to be like physically bigger, but I want the details to be more kind of wow, this is an amazing space. This is crazy. There's like lots going on. So I have this image of where he lives and what he's about to show her, but I haven't shown you yet. So there's nothing to talk about yet.
Okay, cool. Well, next week we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that. Yeah, I like all the different options.
Oh, I do have 2 characters in mind, 3 characters in mind that will be introduced. So there are 4 other bedrooms, right? He's in a quartet, so it's 2 men and 2 women. So we're gonna meet 2 more women and a man who are his little reaper friends, and one of them is going to be called the gargoyle.
Oh, cute. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
it's not cute, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
interesting.
she's like legit going to be able to like turn into a gargoyle.
Oh, an actual gargoyle.
Well, she can shift into it.
Interesting. Yeah, you always get animal shifters, but fucking statue shifters.
Yeah. And so that's going to be when she's walking the ground, she's going to notice like there's a really random fucking gargoyle on this building that looks creepy as shit. And then like we'll find out later that that's this character. I have
Does
no
it
names. I
move
have nothing.
as a
She
statue, or is
will.
it just like it's a statue and then she has to turn into a human?
She basically like can go full like black noir, right? So like everything can go completely like stone. Like she looks like she's stone,
Uh-huh.
but she can move in that space. But
Okay.
if but if she chills out, like it's like a surveillance type thing. Like she's stealthy
Okay.
because she looks like she can
Okay.
just be
So
a
she can
statue.
turn into like could she in theory turn into like any stone uh is she turned into only a gargoyle or can she turn into a slab of concrete? She just regular old sidewalk.
No. I think it's just that she goes like her skin goes almost like obsidian. She basically turns into obsidian. But it's still her like the form changes a little bit, but it's just the one form.
Oh, okay. So it's more of an appearance and less like an actual
Yeah.
shifting of cells and biology and shit.
Yeah, so like if she goes someplace, she can sit on the top of a building and just look like like a weird statue on a building.
Okay, but her biological
And
makeup
because
is not shifted.
no, and then exactly,
it.
and then like and because it's so dark that she
That would
can
be
like blend
useful
into
in a way.
shadows. It would be, but and like she can like blend into shadows and shit, and because it she can change her appearance to be like near total darkness.
Okay,
Or like
that's cool.
all of it goes near total darkness.
Shadow mommy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
they're all shadow mommies and daddies, all of them. There's not one.
Yeah.
They're all that. They're all reapers, right? They
That's
all work
right.
for the underworld.
Yeah. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm.
That's what I also want to do is get away from like elemental magic. But I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, there's mental magic. I guess there's turning into concrete. I can go with it. Just kidding.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? Like there's shifters, there's
Mhm.
elemental, there's mind.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. What other kind
There's
of
a
magic is there? Potions and
there's
healing.
Mhm. Guardians.
Time,
Time. I
teleportation.
can't fuck with
I
time, but
can't fuck
yeah.
with time either. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, I kind of want, if Force is going to come into some magic, I want it to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I have my other story with elemental magic, and I do think that's fun too.
Yeah.
But I do want to figure out a weird power.
Yeah, Gideon and Evie have elemental magic, right? And then there's a fifth
And
element or
I think it's fine
whatever.
for some stories. I think I just want this one to be like a more interesting. Maybe
Yeah,
like
just
maybe he can like sense like some kind of in tune with the land type of like memories, or
yeah.
because those spaces do feel kind of sentient in a weird way, huh?
Yep. They sure do.
Kind of like that. Sorry. Anyway, you
Well, and
made
then
me
that
think
could
about,
be
oh, I
something
can
about
turn
the
someone into
world.
a sidewalk.
Well, well, and if the world is sentient, then maybe it was like the world was fighting back against them, and that's why it fucking yeeted itself out of existence.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that the tsunami that happened was, I mean, that sort of feels like that weird movie that Mark Wahlberg is in, where they find out that the trees are making people go crazy and commit suicide because they don't like pollution.
Well, I'm not gonna
um,
make it that simple.
but some, where it's like the world has turned on them, and they're trying to carve out this space in the below, and
Yeah. And they're just like, fuck you. Yeah. I mean, it
yeah,
could also be that, like, maybe the world is just the sentience naturally always is looking for balance, or, you know,
mhm, yeah,
natural
it's
order.
like
And so
ether
it's
or
not
thin
personal.
places, or yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Okay.
the natural magic of the world.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe there is some
And
kind of
maybe
like a
they
sentience.
tapped into so much of it on the top that it just collapsed the system. That
Yeah.
they pulled so much and corrupted so much of the magic on the surface that that's why the world on the surface collapsed, and now they're trying to dig underneath and do the same shit.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, there's something there. Hopefully I'll fucking write this week because I'm gonna
Mhm.
be on vacation. Uh and hopefully I'll
Yeah, and
write.
use
We'll see.
Kale for a wealth of knowledge. He reads this kind of stuff too, so he
Yeah.
gets, yeah.
Also, he has great writing instincts. Okay. Did you read this week?
I did read.
What are you reading? I don't even know what you're reading.
I so I've only read the one chapter of the vampires thing by the Twisted
Oh, that's
Sisters, and I
right.
haven't
Okay.
been able to pick it back up for a number of reasons. Mostly I don't have a moment to myself anymore.
Yeah.
And when I'm reading at night, I'm reading with Topher, and I'm trying to go to
Oh,
bed a
duh.
little
You're
bit
reading
earlier.
Zodiac.
Yeah. So I am reading Zodiac with Topher, and he has thoughts that I love it, but we're very early on, and
We should hear some of those thoughts too.
at some point yesterday, he goes, "Are these guys gonna stop being fucking creepy ass douchebags at some point?" And I was like book two, and he was like, "Fuck, all right, let's go." So he's in it. He's on board. But yeah, he's
What part
like,
are you guys at?
we just finished where like they held her over that like um drop
The
off
waterfall?
area. No, it was. I mean, whatever. It was the they're in. It's her first air magic, or no, her earth magic class, and Seth and Caleb corner her, and they like run, like Seth picks her, or Caleb picks her up and like runs her, and there's like a big drop off, and they like hold her out over the stalagmites and like whatever,
Oh, and
and
they
then he
coerce
bites.
them.
Yeah, and she coerces them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I thought that was in
And
water class.
all of it, like, and then like Orion bit Tori, and Caleb comes in and is like, "That's my source, stay off of her." And Orion's like, "Cool, then I get the other Vega." And Topher the whole time was like, "This seems very like sexual assaulty," and I was like, "Yep." He's like, "This is very creepy and I don't like it." And I was like, "That's a good thing, you should not like this. No,
Yeah.
no, nobody
Well,
likes this."
and the vampire thing is, and then you're like, oh, this is just vampires.
And that's what I told him. I said, the more that you read it, you start to realize like it's that world's norms, and
And to be
like
fair, it is not sexual assault. It's just someone.
it's, yeah.
The biting feels like
Well, and then the fact that
you're
they're like, "We
crossing
don't have a
lines.
say in this," and they're like, "No, you either fight us off, and we're gonna do what we want, and I own you," and blah blah blah. And Topher's like, "I don't. These guys are creeps." And
Yeah.
but there was a moment because Seth is
And
very
we would never
tactile.
allow this in the real world.
No,
So,
no,
like,
no.
obviously,
Yeah,
but
and
it's how they
when
are.
And, like, Seth is very tactile, and so there's a moment where, like, he runs his hand down Caleb's back, and Topher's like, "Ah, these guys are so into each other." And I was like, "No, they're not." And he's like, They have a thing."
Well, I think in that case, that is really just showing that he just does that to his friends because he's a
Yes,
fucking
but
wolf.
Topher was like, That's no." And I was like, "No, he touches everybody like that." He was like, "Nah, he doesn't." I'm like, "He does, though." And he's like,
He
I don't
does.
know."
He does
He
actually.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, we don't
Uh,
really see it a whole lot. We see a little bit of it with Darius, but not a whole lot.
yeah.
So I think the more that he sees it, he'll just be like, "Oh, it's just a werewolf thing." But yeah, no, he was just like, "That's fucking," well, because he also says, oh, because he's like, "We should just throw her over," and like, and then like runs his hand on him, and he was like, "It's one thing if you're just like touchy feely, but like it was with the saying of like punish her, honey." Kind of. He was like, "What is?" He was like, "Seth is so into Caleb right now."
It's so funny.
And he's like, "Caleb's a fucking tool. He's a weirdo and I don't like him." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. You
Uh-huh.
don't like him. That's fine. He's the first
Yeah.
one you end up liking." Funny, I can't wait.
Okay, yeah, that's
And he's
awesome.
already making fun of the nickname Blue.
I've always hated that.
He doesn't hate it, but every time I start with like Darcy chapters, he's like, "Got it, Blue."
So funny. Okay, yeah, I'm sure actually in like the episode that will come out next week, we
Yeah.
will hear a lot more about that. But I was okay, I was
Yes.
excited about that. And that's all you've been reading is Zodiac?
And nope. And then I listened to an audiobook. So Beast
Oh.
of the Briars, book 6 comes out next month. And so I listened to the prequel novella that I told you that you didn't have to read, which you don't really have to read, but I
Oh.
did listen to it. It's like a little 4.5 hour something on Audible, so it was very short. And it is it's a cute little spicy prequel between two of the 6 main characters. And so like you get a little glimpse of some of the other characters, but it's just kind of their little pre-love story, and
Okay.
it's cute. It's cute. And it ends like right as like shit goes real fucked up for everybody. And so then when you start Beast of the Briars, they are 25 years past that.
Do they live
And
forever kind of thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fey. But they're 25 years past that or something. And so like it's kind of cool because you see like, this like like okay, this is when shit's going to start to go down because it's the 20 years before you get like the POV of the main character when she enters this world, and they've been struggling for 20 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Um,
And like their world is completely, and so you kind of get to see them as like before they're princes or before they're in power, right? And so it's like, and one of the princes in the series is actually like the youngest son of his family, and so you get to see him as just being like the spare before he actually gains some power. And so he's like,
Interesting.
"I don't want to be like fuck off. I just want to have fun, and like I don't need to be my brother who's in power. I don't need to be my other brother who's the general. I'm just the third son and I get to fuck off."
Yeah.
And then and so you kind of get to see this like, I don't know, a little bit of a fuckboy energy out of him before you meet him in Beast of the Briars, where he is now a crown prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
cute and it's spicy and it's yeah. And I mean, and you learn this very early on, but it's a romance between two of the princes. Um
oh, cute.
because yeah, so when you finally get the main character, when you get to Beast of the Briars, she finds out that two of the princes that she's living with are lovers. And so you
Okay.
get kind of how they first meet and what that backstory is and how their families wanted one of them to be the consort for the other and was like, "This is a power play," and he's like, "Fuck that, this guy's stupid and boring," and the other one's like, "He's a fucking tool." And then of course they end up liking each other, but it's very, "Well, I like you but I can't be with you" thing. And then like they're kind of getting to a point of like, maybe we're getting to an agreement of liking each other, and then fucking then shit's going stupid.
Yeah.
So it's really
Okay.
cool. Yeah, it was
That's
cute, it
cute.
was fun, it was a fast listen.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hold me over for a little bit because two of these characters are some of my favorite characters, and so it was nice seeing them. And then you get to see there's like little cameos of the other princes before they've gone through their fucking bullshit, and so you kind of get to see like who they were before Rosalina meets them, before they're cursed, right?
Yeah. Okay, interesting. That is, yeah. Maybe I will read those books eventually, but I think it'll be a
I
while.
enjoyed them, but they're very spicy, and you might not like them in audio format because they are very spicy.
Well, I probably would just read them.
Yeah, but they're good. They were fun. They're a fun read. I enjoyed them, and I'm like, I like them enough to put the next one on my actual Google Calendar for when it's released.
Yeah, yeah, and
So,
that's like, and again, I basically just read off recommendation
mhm.
for good or for bad, and I prefer it that way. So,
And I am gonna jump back into the vampire stuff.
yeah,
I think I just needed a minute. I was going through a lot, so
yeah, yeah,
I just need a little break. And we're resetting our new normal here with my mother-in-law moving in with us. So
and summer.
yes, yes.
Yeah. I read a little bit of Echo Fort. I'm just reading Echo Fort at night lately. I haven't really gotten into like a daytime reading grind yet. Because I've just been like wanting to play like games, and I was playing
Hmm.
Sims, and I don't know. And this it's the beginning of summer. Plus, also we had a bunch of cleaning to do before we leave, and like just somehow I'm still so busy. But I have been
Where are you in Echo
listening.
Fort?
Okay, so Echo Fort. Okay, okay, Septa and Tarlord are definitely getting together. We just had
Yep.
the marriage bed scene. No saying yep. No saying yep.
No, I
It
don't.
may not happen,
No, but I ship them.
but that implies they're not that together yet.
Just
I'm just kidding.
saying. When I was at that point in the book,
Okay.
I wanted them to get together.
Yeah, I mean, it
The
definitely all the clues
marriage
are
bed
there.
scene is fucking
Some
hilarious.
justice for Cade. He was such a little
Hell
bitch.
yes. I was like,
That's what he
this is.
deserves.
And when I was reading, I was like, here are the Twisted Sisters. Here they are.
Uh huh.
They're
Yes.
here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that I've read that scene, and then with Vesper, I think Bastion just punched some guy in the street and was like, "Hey, if you want to fly under the
Mm,
radar, don't be sneaking around like a suspicious idiot," you know.
mm-hmm.
And ever just
They
went
haven't gone.
down.
They haven't gone into the city yet, right?
They're like walking in, about to. They're
That gets
basically
fun too.
they're like in the city technically. She's like pulling some magic off people, but it's very
Yeah.
just barely. I haven't really done anything in the city. Ever is she just went down with Kaiser into the she just Harlan just brought her to the Cardinal Reaper and was like, tell him what's up, and she like makes up some story about how she hid
She
during the
lies to
fight.
him. Yep, and she
Uh-huh.
lies.
And
Mhm.
yeah. So I think so that's where I'm at in Echo 4. I think it's 45%. Um but I need to read more. And then I finished Fate Inked in Blood, and I'm in Curse of a Curse of Bone and I don't know what it's called.
Book 2. You're in book
Book
2.
2. Yeah, Saga of the Unfated. So I will say okay. Okay. I thought Bjorn was well done in a lot of ways. Like, and also, I like this audiobook way better, partially because it's not
Yeah.
so much smut constantly, which is just like,
Mhm.
again, I just prefer, I read the smut scenes unless they're really emotional and like moving. And like, it was sometimes smut scenes are just like, yeah, and then they're fucking, and it's like this, whatever. But if it's like, an emotionally resonant moment, I'll just read it normal, but a lot of times I skim them a little bit. um
Mhm.
and you can't do that when you're listening to an audiobook, so I'm just
No,
like,
you can't.
okay, you're gonna like take a pause, and then I'm just like, can we just go? Like,
Yeah.
but maybe it was just that I mean, there were some decent scenes in Hades and Persephone that were like interesting, but I think just there were so many of them that I was like, okay, we get it. Like, I was just a little
Yeah.
tired of them. Even
Yeah.
though they did have a good variety, they were not like repetitive. They were like for that much smut, it was decently
Yeah,
done. It's just other
they're
things
not doing the
also
same
annoying.
2
Yeah.
positions. Yeah, they're not doing the
No,
same 2
yeah.
positions.
So, but anyway, it's just not my favorite to listen to audio. I think I would have liked Touch of Darkness much better in reading format, actually.
Mhm.
Um, but anyway, so this book is much better, and I like that there's a guy narrating for Bjorn. Um, did you listen to audios of these?
Of the faded
Saga of the
ones?
End. Uh-huh.
No, I have physical copies of those.
Oh, okay. I wonder how that is because it's very kind of like atmospheric. Like,
Mhm.
the person has like an accent, which I didn't think I would like really actually, but it kind of
Yeah.
works in a weird way.
Yeah,
I think I would have
I did
mispronounced a lot of words too if I was reading it.
I got we went to Half Price Bookstore for my birthday, I
Oh
believe,
yeah.
and that's when I picked up the first one and I liked it enough that I ordered the second one because I was like, well, I already have
Okay.
the physical copy of the first one, so I have to buy the second.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I like this as an audiobook experience. And okay, I
Yeah.
did like
It's a good
Bjorn.
book.
I think Bjorn was well done. But I did
Mhm.
think
Bjorn is also I feel like the betrayal and the twist is original.
yeah,
It's done in an original way.
I think so, but it's still a little bit I was like, "Oh, we're just doing this." But I did
Yeah.
feel it coming like when he said something and I was like when I first met him, I was like, he's like I thought he was gonna betray her, and then
Mhm.
they were escaping, and I was like, this is too good to be true. But I don't see how he could still betray her,
Yeah.
and that was interesting. But I don't know, there was something about it. I'm like, I wish it was just a little bit. I don't know. I think it is well done for that trope. I will
Yeah.
say. Um,
And you finished it, right?
I finished the first book, and I got like 11 hours of the second book left, so whatever that means.
I really cannot wait to
Um,
hear what you think of the ending.
okay, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, but it is really interesting, and it is a much better audiobook experience.
Yeah. And you get
Um,
there's some Bjorn backstory and the like
yeah,
Snorri, his
yeah,
backstory. There's some stuff going on there that gets really interesting.
yeah. There, I can already. Yeah, we're basically she's right now she's at the sword. She just got her sword
Got it.
fixed, and they're gonna go see Saga right
Yep.
now.
Yep. Yep.
Um and
Yeah.
yeah, it is interesting. Like I don't know. It reminded me actually of Ashes of the Star Cruise King. The second Broadbent book, Crowns of Nyaxia,
Mhm.
because it ends in a similar
Mhm.
way. Man
Yeah.
betrays for ideolo-
Yeah.
ideological reasons. Um
Yeah.
but it is both are shocking, I will say, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
It's good.
say I would say like 4.5 stars for the first book.
Okay.
Yeah. Um
Cool. And
yeah.
then next week we're gonna have my husband on as a guest,
Yeah.
and we are going to hear all of his thoughts about the Crescent City series because we just finished that together. So
Yeah.
he'll be here to chit chat. So
Which we're honestly just gonna record right after this, to be
yeah, yeah.
honest.
But yeah, so until then, keep reading.
Keep writing. See you next week.
We'll see you next week.